Debbie Hudson. You are watching the Serenity Wellness Show on TV. Hi, this is Debbie Hudson, and I want to welcome you to my show, Serenity Wellness. And today my guest is Susie James. Susie, if you would like to share your passion and your business, go for it.
Hi, Debbie. Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you to you and to James for giving me this opportunity. It's absolutely amazing to be here. So I'm based in the UK, as you know. For me at the moment, it's 10 o'clock at night. So it's just wonderful to be able to spend the day chilling and waiting to come on and join you. So a little bit about myself. I'm 60, 2 grown sons, 2 fur babies, and a great interest in all things sort of holistic and angels and crystals. Yeah. So my journey began coming into this arena 26 years ago when my husband passed to spirit at a very early age. So I was left as a young mother with 2 children to raise, blessedly not on my own, with my family. But part of that process involved me meeting a lot of different people and putting me on my spiritual journey. So the first thing that really set me on this journey was the angelic experience that I had 3 nights after Bob had passed. And am I right to share it? Because I do.
Yes, I have my experiences as well. Please do.
Fantastic. So I remember obviously in the deep stages of grief, the biggest thing that I had going on for me at that time was, had he suffered? I was really concerned because he just did literally drop down in front of me with a massive heart attack, which obviously at the time we didn't know, but I did know, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So it was my concern was that he'd suffered. So I kept saying this over and over to myself through the days that followed. And this night, this third night, I remember lying in bed, and I must have drifted off to sleep, because then I woke with that sense of somebody being in the room. And that immediate thing is up, and it sort of frightens you because you're not sure who's there. My mum and my sons were fast asleep in their beds in the same room. And then I saw this glimmer of light in the corner of the room. And it just got bigger and brighter and just grew and grew till it sort of covered the whole of the wall. And I kept thinking, it's going to wake everybody up, but I could hear them sleeping. So I laid there, and then this vision of this man started to walk towards me through this light, and he just got taller and taller and looked like a giant in this sort of door frame of light. And I just remember feeling such love at the time, and feeling like I was cocooned in this cotton wool of warmth. And from that point, I didn't feel scared at all anymore. It was just such a lovely feeling, which, given that I was grieving, it was a bit of an unusual feeling because I felt so blissful.
Yeah.
And then he just picked Bob up, because Bob was laying at his feet. He lifted him up into his arms, and this is the weirdest and bizarrest thing of all of it, and it still makes me smile even today when I think about it. He unzipped his chest, this big zip, but he pulled out his heart and he held it in his hands, and he cocooned it, put it back in Bob's chest and zipped him up. And in that moment, I just knew 100% that he hadn't suffered and that he was fine. And this, I believe it was Jesus. Some people might disagree with me when I describe how he looks, but he was tall, he had long flowing dark hair, a dark beard, but the brightest of blue eyes I've ever seen. Never seen a colour blue like it since. And he was wearing a white robe, just pure white. And then as he picked him up and folded him into his arms, he faded back into the light. And in that instant, I just sort of became aware of my body again. I could feel everything around. And I literally shot out of bed because I thought, oh my God, what's going on? Everybody was fast asleep. So that was my first angelic experience. And that sort of led me into the belief and the trust and the knowing that angels are around us, that they do come to us in times of need. It was a few years after that, really, that I really became part of working with the angels, because obviously I went through the stages of grief. It took me probably 3 or 4 years to really grieve the loss and come out again through it. But during that time, I met people who were what I class as earth angels. You know, a lady gave me a crystal, a rose quartz heart, and told me how to work with it. And that got my interest into crystals started. And now crystals are a huge part of my life. I absolutely love them. I consider them to be part of my family. So, yeah, I mean, I could talk forever about all of this. But over the years, I just then developed looking at different spiritual modalities. So I started as a crystal therapist, did my Reiki to all 3 levels, studied meditation, because meditation for me is huge. It's a big part of my life, and I believe it's one of those tools that everybody should embrace. You know, it's great just for calming the mind, bringing the energy down, you know. And then, lots of other modalities, colour therapy, NLP, hypnotherapy. And all of these gradually over time, I feel, have become my toolbox. But the one thing it has taught me is, and this is where obviously our connection has come in over this time, is energy, that everything is energy. Thoughts, feelings, emotions, that we're made up of energy. You know, we're made up of something like 85% water. Water is energy that holds a vibration. So, you know, the interest that we've got with the water as well, you know, links us. And it's just fascinating to me. And I'm constantly learning, constantly finding new things. But what I love about it is just being able to help others, you know, find their place.
Totally.
And use all these different tools, you know, in the conversations we've had around water, what a great tool that is, you know, to use.
Healing. It's healing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, my first, I suppose, process into learning about the vibrational energy of water is with Dr. Emoto. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a Japanese scientist. I mean, he's passed away now. But he's written 2 books. But what he did was he scientifically researched the study of water and how it holds a vibration. And what he did was he used things like music, sound, words, just vibrating.
Debbie Hudson, you are watching the Serenity Wellness Show on TV.
It's about just sitting in that presence and just allowing things to flow naturally to you, you know, rather than trying to push against or towards something, because the more you push, that vibrational energy shifts because you're trying to put too much intensity into it, is my feeling. And when you do that, it then puts a bit of an energy block in the way. So I'm very much about sitting in flow, and, you know, I call it my breadcrumb trail. You know, when something appears in front of me, it's a choice whether to pick it up and follow it, or whether to just leave it be. And, you know, as you know, you contacted me, we started a conversation, we found we had so much in common, and we've just continued, as I can see, following that breadcrumb trail. You know, and it's led to this today, which is amazing. I absolutely love it. I mean, if you'd said to me 7 weeks ago, when I was made redundant from my job, that I would be sat on an internet TV show in Canada, I'd have probably laughed and gone, "No, really?"
Well, we didn't met to meet too.
But
that's the beauty of technology and internet.
Absolutely, you know, and I mean, I could have, and this again comes back to the vibrational energy, doesn't it? You know, 7 weeks ago, I've been 40 years in healthcare. Yes, I retired from our NHS system, but I continued to do the work as an agency worker. And if you'd said to me at the beginning of the year, Sue, you will be laid off from work, you won't have any work to go to, I'd have gone, that was silly. I'm a nurse, I work in the operating theatres, I'm never going to be out of work. And here I was, 7 weeks, no work, you know, and I could have gone into, oh my goodness, you know, what's going to happen? I've got no work, I've got no income. But instead I just went, okay, this has happened. It's happened for a reason. You know, I'm not the only person in the world this is impacting on. And rather than go into fear and worry, I sat and just said, show me, help me, let me see what's out there available. And the amount of opportunities that are coming to me, yes, they all take time. And this is one of them, you know, it takes time to build and process and move into that energy and field. And I'm very much somebody that I can be very spontaneous. In the breath, like, you know, I got up and moved home just on the spur of a moment. And I moved like 500 miles away, and it all happened in a matter of weeks. But I can also be very pragmatic as well. So, you know, when a business opportunity comes my way, I don't just go, oh, yes, give it to me. I can see that's great. I look at it, I research it, I make sure it feels right. Because at the end of the day, it has to be something that resonates with me as well. You know, it has to be something that works for me on my own individual level, but also something that's good for the planet, something that's eco-friendly, you know, and something that is going to benefit the planet as well, not just me.
And I think that's another, you know, passion that we share. And that's why I feel that I was brought to this. And, you know, just even I've had some experiences, and I know that a couple of months ago I was feeling a little challenged, stressed, and where my business was, you know, not going to go where I wanted it to go because of the timing. And I ended up, you know, trying to meditate, and I've had some, you know, difficulty, mainly because I've been just, you know, busy working. And I'm grateful and lucky that I have an essential job to, you know, go to. But it has been very physically challenged. And I just basically was trying to go to sleep. And I remember closing my eyes and, you know, all of a sudden I seen the bright light. And that's what happens to me. I see the bright light, and then basically it's usually feathers, angel wings. But this time it was the bright light, and it kind of got bigger and bigger. And then all of a sudden there was a whoosh of wave, almost like my business card. I don't know if you've seen my business card, but it looked a lot like that. And I was like, wow, like it just gave me a peace and serenity. And I just knew that everything is going to be okay. And I just have faith, and yes, and that it, at the right time, things will happen. So I was wondering if, well, you know, sometimes when you think about something and did you wish it to come true? And I thought, could I just see the cart, like the wave, one more time? So I actually, it came back again. I thought, okay, so I'm not dreaming. I really am still, you know, awake, but, you know, and that just really brought it all to light for me again, gave me back that faith and positivity. And and I still feel that I have a higher purpose, that I am meant to help people, and especially the planet, and promote the clean movement. It's about clean earth, water, air, getting people on board. Just like when I seen that Facebook post that you did on the that magazine, right? Yeah. And it was just so inspiring, because it basically said we all need to. Without everybody, it's not going to happen. We all need to get involved.
And I think, and that's very true, and I agree with you 100%. I also feel as well that sometimes we get stuck in this idea that what we do has to be huge, that it has to go out and we have to do everything all at once, or bring everybody into that feeling as well. And the one thing that I've sort of realized, and more so in the last couple of years, is that sometimes it's not about everybody, it's about you first of all. I'm a firm believer in heal thyself.
Yes.
So everything that I have done over the years and still continue to do, firstly, is for me. Because then when I'm in that right vibrational energy, I can then go out and connect with somebody and help them find that energy. And somebody said to me the other day something for me it felt profound, is the one person that you work with might be the one person that saves the world. So rather than trying to focus, I feel, on trying to make everything so big that you want to bring everybody into it and just change everybody. Right. You allow yourself that energy flow to think, right, if the next person I meet is somebody that I can work with, I can shine a little bit of light on, that they then can find the light within themselves, that might just be the one person that is able to then go out and inspire a nation. It might be that our role as an individual is just to work with the individuals who then go out and shine their light, and they become the ones that, shine with the masses. Right. So I don't put that, because like you, I have this great big dream. I wanted my own therapy centre, holistic therapy centre, have everybody come in and work, provide space for them to do their work as well as my own, and have people flowing through the doors. And over the years, that's not materialised. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to materialise. It might well do still, there's still years ahead. Yes. But I then realised that by clinging to that, I wasn't allowing my energy and myself to be the bigger flow of energy. And since letting that go, and the people that come to me now and say, oh my goodness, you've helped me so much, this is what you've done for me, and then they've gone out and done the same for somebody else, almost like that pay it forward.
Oh, awesome.
So it's a feeling for me, it's a feeling of just breathe. Just let it be, let it go, and see what flows to you. I mean, you've flown towards me. I think I mentioned to you earlier today, I've got an interview with a journalist over the weekend for a spiritual magazine and possibly a health and wellness magazine that she wants to put my story into. And again, if you'd said to me 7 weeks ago, Sue, this is going to happen, I don't know. No. Me?
That's interesting.
Me?
Getting spread around the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right?
And all that time you're sitting in, and what city are you in?
I live in Kingston upon Hull.
Okay. Yes.
Just about 2 hours outside of Manchester.
Okay, that's interesting. And that now you were literally thrust out of what you were doing because it was time to do what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes, James. You're so right. I mean, I got hooked back into the hamster wheel of work, as I call it. I'd started off working perhaps 2 days a week, and then it got to 3, and then it became 4, and then it became 5. And I actually did have some time just before Christmas where this thought in my head kept coming and saying, Sue, you need to cut your hours down. You need to stop. You need to slow down. You need to get back to doing what you do. And I'm like, no, it'll be all right, talking myself out of it sort of thing. And then, that was it. Bang, it happened. I've got pulled out underneath my feet. And that's another reason that I trust that I'm in the right flow now, that things are going to come in and everything will be all right, because I should have learned my lesson, but I suppose we still manage to ignore them sometimes.
The instant that we get it all figured out, the next instant comes, right? Exactly. So it's moving forward. So I'm going to ask you how people get a hold of you, but I want to just give a time so people can get an idea of what time you're working. It's like right now, say 20 after 3 in the afternoon here. What time is it there?
It's 20 past 10 at night.
20 past 10 at night. And is that the sun shining in?
No.
Oh, I thought, wow, how north are you? I thought that only happened in Edmonton.
It's the living room light, but I've also got like one of those circular lights, because the light in this room's not very good. So I invested in a.
Yeah, but it looks like the sun is shining in, right? So that's what I was wondering. What time of day is it? So then you take international clients.
I do, yes.
And so how do people get a hold of you?
Well, my website, as you know, is susieandtarajames.co.uk. So you can communicate on there by leaving an email. Obviously, I'm on Facebook. Facebook's probably the better place to find me. So you can find me as Susie James on Facebook.
That's where I seen you yesterday.
Yeah. I do use Instagram, but I'm not quite up with the Instagram side of things as yet. And then my email. So the email is Suby, SUBYJ 23 @gmail.com.
Excellent. And you're obviously adverse or good at Zoom, because you made it here in right on actually on time. We were here an hour early, but I guess we're on Mountain Standard Time, and maybe that's Mountain Daylight Saving Standard Time or whatever. But either way, we just were chatting and visiting, and you arrived. It was awesome. It was so nice to meet you. So
changed, don't they? I mean, we have our British GMT Standard Time, which changes twice a year.
Yeah.
And I've got a friend in Canada. She lives in London, Ontario, and the times we've missed each other because we've both forgotten that the clock's gone back or forward for one or the other of us, and it's like, there's been times when I've missed calls because of it.
And that's one of the really neat things that will last. Greenwich median time, right? That's that goes all the way back to days gone by, when the sun never set on all that was good then. It's different now, but I wish it was the same. But either way, I was going to go into a little bit of a message, but I'm not going to go that way. I'm just a big fan of Her Majesty, so I just wanted to.
Oh, lovely.
I want to say it in a really nice way, long live the Queen, but I don't know how you can say it without saying it, so I just said it.
Well, exactly, and bless her heart, she's what, 90 now?
It's the only queen we've ever known. I don't know. I think I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry.
Yes, it will be very.
She's so sweet. She's so sweet. She's tough though. I wouldn't want to be on her bad side, right? So she has a view of her. She's so patient. Anyway, it's nice to be in the realm and in the Commonwealth. And what a great show! I really enjoyed myself. There's so much to discuss and about this angel work, because it's so prevalent in many of the mystic and metaphysical systems that are encased in religion. And I would like to visit more on it, but we're coming to the end of the show. It goes by so quickly.
Well, I'd love to come back if you would like to have me. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and very blessed that you invited me. So thank you so much.
Excellent.
You'll have to share with us once you get your, your list and your article wrote, and all of that. We'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. The Serenity Wellness Show on the Health and Wellness Channel, only on TVU. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye. This is Debbie Hudson. You're watching the Serenity Wellness Show on TVU. Today I want to share my heart and my story and how I survived a brain concussion and a head injury from work. I was not able to take meds. They're not my friend and they don't work for me. So I usually try alternative methods. I drank the Kangen water and took the Ukon, and I recovered in a week. It was the most excruciating pain that I've ever had in my life. And I just want to share how this Kangen water helps fight inflammation.